Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. So cyber insurance, we've been talking a lot about cyber insurance. Uh, whether it's you, the agent, internally here at the office, or if you're a consumer of our agency, we've been providing lots of information about cyber exposures and cyber coverage. I've researched a few different policy forms offered out there, and I think Evolve and Evolve MGA does a really good job not only of providing the coverage, but also providing the education for the consumer and the agent to really understand what coverage is being provided as part of the policy. And instead of, a 100-page policy that you have to read through and kind of decipher all the tricky language, they provide this document, which is their EVO 4.0 wording. And 4.0 is their most recent up-to-date policy form. And if you read through it, it really breaks down what their coverage is in layman's terms. So whether it's an agent that's reading this to educate yourself on the cyber policy, or if it's a consumer, I've had cases where I've sent this to a customer after I've given them a quote, gone through this together, and they're like, oh, wow, I see what it's covering. It makes it understandable, and I really like that. So I'm providing this document as part of this quote video, and I want you can see below, it's going to say EVO 4.0 wording, click it, and I want you to read through this, because this will help you better understand what coverage is in place with their cyber policies. Now, I want you to also understand, not all insuring clauses come with each quote. Depending on the operation, some of these insuring clauses may not be covered because Evolve doesn't extend it to the client. So one of the big ones is insuring clause 2, which is your cybercrime coverage. Covers your funds transfer frauds, your theft of funds, extortion, which is your ransomware. You will see on most quotes, or I haven't actually seen Section D excluded. So I have seen insuring clause 2 with only Section D. Now, I also have seen A, B, C, E, F, G, and H with no coverage, but I go back and ask the underwriter what we need to do to provide that coverage, and they might ask for some supplemental information to see what controls the client has in place to eliminate some of these threats. Big one being funds transfer fraud. Okay, so you can go back and ask, hey, can we get all the cybercrime sections added, and what needs to be done? Another big one that you'll notice is insuring clause 6, which is tech E&O. They're not going to provide tech E&O unless the customer or the business is in the tech industry, because if you're in educational services, you don't need tech E&O. So just keep that in mind. If you have any questions, though, this is something that I learned by researching. If you don't know what a definition of some of the language is, so for example, I was reading this insuring clause, and I was reading Section A, incident response costs, and what the policy will pay for. And then it says here, as a direct result of a cyber event first discovered by you. Well, what does you mean? Does that mean there's only one person in the organization that can, discover the event? So what you want to do is go down here to the definitions section, and you will see exactly what you means. It's down here. So your means the company, employees, and senior executive officers solely acting in the normal course of the company's business operations. So it's not just you, meaning one person. It could be any person in the organization that fits this role or this definition. Okay, so again, all the definitions are here. All the insurance agreements are listed with all the sections. Evolve's policy is comprehensive. So insuring clause 1 has, you can see all these different sections. Okay, insurance clause 2 has all these different sections, and it will tell you exactly what they pay for under each section. Now, keep in mind, some of these insuring clauses are going to be driven from a third-party claim, and others are just first-party coverage, which, for example, insuring clause 3, system damage and business interruption. That's direct coverage for the business that suffers the breach or the cybercrime. Okay? I mean, it has income loss, has system damage. There's reputational harm coverage in here. So here it is right here, reputational harm. Really good stuff, hardware replacement costs. So read through it. I think you'll get a good understanding. You'll also start to realize that some of these insuring clauses will show up with other carriers' coverage policies, but not with all. Another thing Evolve will do for you, and I found this very helpful, is if your customer has a competing quote. For example, I had a customer recently get a quote from TechRug. Never heard of them. Evolve has all of their forms, all of the other carriers' forms on file. They know exactly what coverage they offer. So they'll give you a side-by-side comparison breakdown for your customer to show you what their coverage is providing and what the competitor is providing, which is awesome. And in some cases, the competitor may provide a couple line items of insurance that are better, or maybe a different deductible level. And Evolve will point that out and say, hey, this is what your client needs to look at. This is why we think we're better. But this could be a benefit of the other insurance policy. So anyway, let me know if you have any questions. Please read through this. I'm also going to provide 2 other documents here. One is going to be the product highlights, and then also the 6 free cybersecurity risk management services that every customer gets with an Evolve policy. I'm going to put that in the bottom too. So let me know if you have questions. I think once you read this, you're going to really get a better understanding of how cyber coverage can help. Take care.